So you've landed a new job in a huge, bustling city like Dhaka? That should be exciting, right? But for so many professionals, the reality is, well, it's a logistical nightmare. Today we're going to dig into a huge trend that's completely changing the game, the massive shift to furnished apartments. We'll break down why this isn't just about convenience, but why it's a truly strategic move for anyone trying to hit the ground running in one of the fastest growing economies in the world.
Okay, let's be real for a second. Think about the last time you had to move. All that excitement for a new start, it just gets buried under a mountain of tasks. Now imagine doing all that in a city as fast-paced as Dhaka. The pressure is on to perform at your new job from day one, but you're stuck dealing with brokers, buying furniture, setting up utilities. It's the classic problem of your personal life getting in the way of your professional goals.
And this list? Wow. This pretty much sums up the old-school moving experience. It's not just a checklist, it's more like a gauntlet you have to run. You're juggling calls, negotiating deposits, spending your precious weekends in crowded furniture stores, all while trying to figure out a new city and make a great first impression at work. This is exactly the kind of friction that turns an amazing opportunity into a really stressful ordeal.
All right, so let's dig into that. Let's take a closer look at the old way of doing things. What is it that makes the traditional rental process so incredibly challenging, especially for busy professionals?
It really boils down to two big things: inflexibility and hidden costs. A 12-month lease? That is a massive commitment, especially in a world where your project could shift or a new opportunity could pop up overnight. And then there's the financial hit. Broker fees, security deposits, and just the cost of furnishing a whole apartment from scratch, it can completely drain your savings before you've even unpacked a single box. The system is just out of sync with how we live and work today.
But what if you could just skip all of that? What if you could walk into a fully functional home on day one? This is where the story really takes a turn, with the rise of a solution that feels like it was tailor-made for the modern professional.
And here it is. The whole concept is just beautifully simple. A home that's ready the moment you are. It's not a hotel, and it's not some empty apartment. It's a complete living space, and it's designed for one purpose: to let you start your life and your work from the second you arrive, with absolutely none of the setup hassle.
And look, we're not just talking about a bed and a table here. This is the whole shebang. You walk in, the high-speed Wi-Fi is already on, the kitchen is ready for you to cook your first meal, and you don't have to worry about a leaky faucet because maintenance is literally part of the deal. It's the difference between just renting four walls and instantly having a home.
Okay, so how does this all add up to a smarter way of living, especially in a city like Dhaka? Let's break that down.
This really lays it out, doesn't it? On one side, you have the traditional rental market. It's slow, it's rigid, and honestly, it's pretty frustrating. On the other side, you have this new model: simple, flexible, and just ready. For a busy professional, the choice is becoming crystal clear. And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the difference here. We're talking about moving in on day one versus what? Waiting weeks to get settled? We're talking about way lower upfront costs with no need to go out and buy furniture or pay all those crazy deposits, and having maintenance just taken care of. That's a huge weight off your shoulders. These aren't just little conveniences. They totally change the relocation experience.
This quote right here gets to the absolute core of why this trend is so powerful. A hotel room can feel so sterile and impersonal, right? And a traditional apartment can take months to actually feel like it's yours. But a furnished apartment, it gives you the best of both worlds. You get the comfort and the privacy of a real home without any of the headache of setting it all up. It's about having a space where you can actually unwind and be productive from the moment you arrive.
So, who is this for? Who's really driving this trend? Well, it's a whole mix of people who all have one thing in common. They value their time and energy. Think about the expat who just landed in Dhaka and needs a comfortable place to start. Or the project manager who's in town for a 6-month assignment and needs a real home base. It's also a super smart solution for companies that want to give their employees a much better experience than a long-term hotel stay. And this isn't just a small, niche thing. We're talking about a citywide shift that's fundamentally changing how people think about renting in Dhaka. This is the big question, right? Is this just a flash in the pan, a temporary fad, or are we actually witnessing a permanent change in how people choose to live and work in major cities?
Well, the numbers don't lie. A jump from 40% to a projected 70% demand in just 6 years, that is a clear sign of a major market shift. This isn't a fad. It's a direct response to the changing nature of work. As our careers get more agile, our housing has to keep up.
And this trend isn't just happening in one part of the city. We're seeing these furnished apartments pop up in all the key areas where professionals want to live and work. Whether you're looking for the quiet, modern vibe of Bashundhara, the corporate buzz of Gulshan, or the lively central feel of Dhanmondi, there are options to fit pretty much every lifestyle.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the bottom line? The housing market in Dhaka is finally adapting to what the modern workforce actually needs. For today's professionals, time is the ultimate luxury, and this furnished apartment model is a really powerful way to reclaim it. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We've totally embraced flexibility in our jobs, in our travel, and how we communicate. So it only makes sense that our most basic need, a place to call home, should be just as agile and adaptable as we are, right?